If you want to fully understand the value of different cryptocurrencies, why so many exist, and the full scope of them, what you could do is go to a website like coingecko.com, which is a very common, reputable cryptocurrency website that on their homepage, as you can see, lists the top cryptocurrencies. And of course, you can order them by market cap, see which one is the biggest, and go down the list and examine them like, oh yeah, Bitcoin is the biggest one by market cap. Then Ethereum, what's the difference? Bitcoin is a store of value, digital gold. Maybe it has other uses like transactions. Ethereum has other uses like you can build things on top of it like DeFi, apps, NFTs. Then you go down the list and there's different cryptocurrencies like XRP. Definitely the focus is on payments here. Tether, that's a stable coin, which is a totally different animal. BNB coin, that's a Binance coin issued by one of the cryptocurrency exchanges, and so on and so on. But if you really want to understand the full scope of cryptocurrencies, you want to go to the other side of the spectrum. So let's, instead of ordering by the biggest market cap, order by, well, it's top 100 cryptocurrencies. So we're going to look at the 100th one and similar. And of course, you have silly ones like Pump Fund. Yeah, Pump and Dump Fund. And it's only a small price, but it has a lot of volume trading. Okay, but that doesn't even touch the bottom of the barrel here. To really see the bottom of the barrel, what you really want to do is scroll down a little bit and find something that says, how would you read this? Fartcoin. Fartcoin. Fartcoin? Wait, excuse me? Okay, now that we've processed this, yes, it's Fartcoin. And you might think, well, there must be some incredibly genius use for this Fartcoin. Not really. Not any more than other cryptocurrencies. Don't take it from me. Let's Google it. Here's what Google's AI search assistant has to say about it. Fartcoin is a meme-inspired cryptocurrency that functions like a standard cryptocurrency for peer-to-peer transactions, basically payments, but with a humorous and community-driven focus. I guess so. Some people never grow out of that joke. Nothing wrong with fart humor. Some people might take it too far. Some people have it as a passion, which this meme coin is an example of just about more than anything else. It's like, how do you turn your passion into a business? Well, you see the 24-hour volume column has it at $400 million daily volume. That's a lot of passion. So never tell people, don't follow your passion. But on a serious note, this is actually an example of a community-driven token where say what you want about the branding, but it's a very memorable branding. And there has been a community established around this brand and people trade this. Of course, it's very speculative trading. There's no actual value except the community, but community is valuable. Now, of course, you'll say, well, there's a gas fee feature. There's a real feature. So let's read about this feature. A unique aspect of Fartcoin is its gas fee. Gas fee is a term, if you're not familiar. Of course, here it's a pun, fart, gas. But in other cryptocurrencies, there's also gas fees. Think of it as transaction fees. But in this cryptocurrency's case, each transaction generates a digital fart sound. Now, you might be tempted to quit not just cryptocurrency, but this universe. Like, what has this universe come to at this point? We were supposed to be evolved humans, but we ended up with Fartcoin instead. But let's not judge the fart community. What we want to learn from this is that you can center a cryptocurrency around the brand, around utility. Around utility, it's much better. But around the brand, around the community, around a theme is also possible. And if we click on this Fartcoin and look at the charts, at the moment, the cryptocurrency space is experiencing a rise. So if we look at the 1 month chart, this is reflective not of Fartcoin, but of the cryptocurrency space as a whole. It's essentially doubled in the last month. And over the course of a year, it kind of had spikes up and down, but you can trade it pretty well because of the volatility. So just like anything else, commodities, stocks, once there's trading volume and liquidity, this also becomes an interesting asset for trading. Now it's speculative, and you could have gotten the same growth from just about all cryptocurrencies over the last month. Some grow more, some grow less. if you were a sane individual, you would predict that probably there will be a tapering off, and the fad of this cryptocurrency might slowly taper off and die off, and it should underperform higher quality cryptocurrencies. But that's if you're a sane person, which is none of the people who are trading this already. And that makes my point that Fartcoin is for some people, Bitcoin is for other people, ETH is for other people, and other cryptocurrencies are for other people. You just have to find your own investment style, risk tolerance, and other preferences, and then find the cryptocurrency that fits what you're looking for out of your cryptocurrency investments. And one thing that's really great and an investor's dream in smaller altcoins, memecoins, is the potential for that 1,000% spike, 10,000% spike. It's possible, but as investors, we often have a shared experience that frustratingly, we only learn about it after the fact. Other people profit from the spike, somehow learn about it early, and then we learn about it. Oh yeah, look at that cryptocurrency, it spiked, but we missed out on it. This is the common experience where people don't actually know which cryptocurrencies are going to spike. So I want to introduce you to a cryptocurrency that I recently launched that has been growing steadily, and I'm rolling out a lot of promotional materials for it, and it's going to get a lot of publicity soon. At least I'm working on that. I'm an experienced marketer. But now it's still early. It's my SPRK, Spark cryptocurrency that I launched specifically with the aim of helping creators and entrepreneurs raise money. Think of it as Kickstarter or Patreon, but with cryptocurrency and taking advantage of many of the benefits of cryptocurrency. You can learn more about this project on sprktoken.com, which I'm showing you on the screen now, to learn about the many real-world benefits and utilities of this cryptocurrency. And what I want to show you now are some charts and price projections for this cryptocurrency based on calculations of ChatGPT. So this is not speculative information from me. These charts are going to come from ChatGPT. What does come from me is the actual growth and the ability to attract investors long term. But luckily, I'm a top 1% marketer online, having reached 1 million students on Udemy, and having large and engaged communities on other platforms as well. So I have exactly the right kind of background to grow a digital asset. So with that in mind, let me show you the actual price projection of this cryptocurrency so that you can see whether you might be interested in making an investment in it at this early stage at which it can still grow 1,000 or more %, which is not a guarantee, but a reasonable bet to make considering the risk reward. You might put in $20 or $25 or $50. That's almost nothing to risk. But if the reward is 100x or 1,000x, as you'll see from the price projections coming up, that makes it a great bet to take. And if you're interested in investing in this cryptocurrency, in the description of this video, I'll have a link to another video which shows exactly how to invest in this cryptocurrency. So let's look at the SPRK token growth path as it goes from 1/10 of a penny in price to, as you can see here, $1,000 per token and beyond. Yes, it's possible. So let me explain how it's possible and what is the underlying mechanism so that you understand how it works. The way such tokens work is that the organization that minted this token provides the liquidity for trading. In this case, there are 10 million tokens available for trading. That's what you see referenced here on the bottom left. You see 10 million on the bottom left on the x-axis, on the bottom axis. Then as 5 million tokens are left, 3 million, 2 million, the price goes up. Because supply of tokens decrease, the price per token increases. So you can see that while there are still about 10 million outstanding tokens out there, and the liquidity pool at the launch of this token was exactly 10 million tokens. So at that point, it's 1/10 of a penny. But as people buy up, you see here, even up to 5 million tokens, which by the way is not hard to do because it's 1/10 of a penny here. So with just $1, you can buy 1,000 tokens. So it's pretty easy to sell the first 5 million tokens, after which the price is still under a penny, but almost 10x from the initial launch price. So if you invest early in this, you get incredibly disproportionate results, because even though this line looks linear, it's only because of how the line looks. The actual price growth is incredibly exponential, because you see that after 5 million tokens are purchased, then after about 3 million tokens are purchased, here we are at the 1 penny per token price point, which is 10x of where it launched. Then as people keep on buying more tokens at 1 million remaining tokens in the liquidity pool, the price becomes approximately 50 cents. So now you went from a tenth of a penny to 50 cents. That's an incredible return, but that's only the beginning. After this inflection point, the price appreciation increases dramatically, because the journey from having 10 million tokens outstanding to 500,000 tokens outstanding is not a difficult journey, but you see it starts getting close to $1. And as you get closer to 100,000 tokens remaining in the liquidity pool, you start reaching the $50 price point. And as people buy up more tokens, obviously it's harder to buy them now because they're more expensive, the price increases. So the real exponential chart looks like this. You see, it's relatively slow growth, but if you want to get to a hockey stick, the moment until which you wait is when you have under 1,000 tokens remaining in the liquidity pool, and especially under 100, it really takes off. Now, at this point, it's really hard to sell a token, because obviously a token is going to be worth 200,000, so it's not realistic. But to get here, it is realistic. That path is not difficult, because at the moment of filming this video, as you can see the price growth here, there's only slightly over 9 million tokens remaining in the liquidity pool, because some people bought early. And you can see that up to around the 5 million token mark, this token is incredibly cheap, and you can get so many of them and profit from the next people investing after you. So imagine what would happen if you bought at a tenth of a penny or a fifth of a penny or at a penny per token, but then it went to $1. That's 100x your investment. $100 becomes $10,000. But what if you put in $100 very early? Then it becomes $100,000. What if you invest $500 very early and it goes up to $1 or a little more? That's $500,000. So $500 invested when it's still a tenth of a penny in not so distant future. Obviously, there are risks, but there is a light at the end of the tunnel for how the growth can happen. That $500 that you might invest at a tenth of a penny can become $500,000 when the token price reaches $1. Because to go from a tenth of a penny to $1 is 1,000x. Which brings me to the point that even though there is risk, you might just lose some money. Although it's nearly impossible to lose a lot, because if you get in early, the price can't go below this price point of a tenth of a penny per token, because that's the price at which it was launched, which is what the liquidity pool that was created allows. So the potential loss isn't that great, but if you can make a bet of 1 to 1,000, that's a good bet to make. So hopefully this visually illustrates the light at the end of the tunnel and how early investors can benefit from owning this token. So with that, of course, I welcome you to become an early investor and profit from the growth of this token.